Cheers, and welcome to Agranac Studios. Today we're celebrating 1,000 subscribers, even though we're closer to 1,100 at this point. And I asked some of you to submit me some questions, and I'm gonna answer them. Dungeons and Chronics asks, what got me into RPGs? So a friend of mine in the late 80s while I was in junior high school invited me over to his house, started playing, haven't looked back since. He also asks, where did you get the name Agranac Studios? So Agranac is the name of a silver dragon in games that I've been running for years. What's interesting about Agranac is that he represents kind of a turning point for me. I was always scared in the past to use dragons. I thought they were way smarter than me and I could never really play them well. So I decided to go out on a limb and I ended up making this silver dragon named Agranac, who was consequently also the father of all lycanthropes. All the times before when I would use a dragon, it would basically be a monster to kill, to fight. And this was the first time that I was wanting to use a dragon that you could actually talk to and interact with within the game. So it was me pushing myself to go out on a limb and actually take on the persona of a dragon while role-playing it. And he's such an integral part in all of my games. He's been on many worlds and currently resides in my homebrew world of Tarna. And so, yeah, he's a dragon that I came up with. Where did I get the name Agranac? What's interesting is on the first iteration of the Dungeon Master screen for 5th edition, there's actually a phonetic name generator, and you can actually create Agranac on there, even though the end letter is a C. But I had used this guy in a 2nd edition campaign before we started playing 5th edition. Where I came up with the name, I don't know. I typically just kind of think of ideas, whatever comes up at that time, and then I kind of mush my syllables and words and my phonetics together, and then sometimes things just pop out. But I'm not saying I'm the first one to come up with that. I'm sure there's somebody out there that also has that name. This next question is from Raph. Would I ever want to play or run D&D for subscribers? Yes, absolutely, exclamation point. I definitely want to make that happen. Obviously, it's going to be something that we'll have to play online, but maybe in the next year or so, we'll put that together, and I'll probably want 3 or 4 players for that. Raph, you're on the top of that list. Raph also asks, what's your favorite band and song? The older I get, the less I can answer that question. When I'm in a metal mood, I will listen to, and I've got a list here, Iron Maiden, Obituary, High on Fire, The Sword, Metallica, pretty much just Master of Puppets and Justice for All, Megadeth, Electric Wizard, Ozzy Osbourne, Pantera, Vader, Morbid Angel, pretty much anything from Dio, Amon Amarth, Wardruna, High Lung, and a lot of orchestral music. The list could go on forever, and don't even ask me to name a song. Kilroy336 asks, how do I handle long and short rests in my campaign? I would say pretend as though they don't exist. Think about the mechanics, kind of maturate on that, and then pretend like someone comes up to you and wants to introduce a homebrew rule of short and long rests. Does it sound like a good idea? Then use it. Does it sound like a crap idea? Then don't use it. You will have the best answer to that question, especially at your table. All right, this one's from Zero Homer. We talk a lot about old school versus mid-school versus modern, mainstream TTRPGs a lot. But I want to ask about other divides discourse mostly ignores. From your point of view, are there differences of role-playing culture across the globe? Mediums like live versus virtual tabletop, between virtual tabletops themselves. Maybe you're even familiar with LARP and play by post and their systems, respective systems. any anecdotes. I think they all have their place within the role-playing game community. Everybody's going to have situations and circumstances to where one might be better suited for them over another. So everybody is different. Though I do think there's definitely some overlap, there's also cultures in and of themselves, just like there is in everything. One of the main things when LARP was at least introduced to me in the 90s, it sounded very interesting, and it was something that we had talked about as Dungeons and Dragons players. I think that it was a natural progression to go into a LARP sort of atmosphere. I never got into that. The closest I did was Renaissance Fair and Viking Festival and stuff like that. So basically it was just me playing a character getting drunk, which is something I'm already going to do, but I did it dressed up. But even back in the 80s, early 90s, there was even a huge dichotomy, even within those that were playing second edition D&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where there was a divide of those that were playing with miniatures and those that were playing completely theater of the mind. And there was at least I remember where I was from, that was a big topic. And for those that were already gamers, they would come to you if you were dungeon mastering, and they would basically wonder, do you do theater of the mind or do you use miniatures? At the time, it was all theater of the mind for me because I couldn't afford miniatures. Now, I love using miniatures, but I also don't have a problem using theater of the mind. Local Hero asks, I'm playing a session today. Can you recommend some fire-themed music? No. No, I don't think I can. Wait. No, I can. Dragon Force, Through the Fire and Flames? Twisted Sister. You're gonna burn in hell. Lord Durza asks, as an RPG player who doesn't really go to cons, are those buttons on the jackets you wear official to anything, and if yes, what? I've got Rebel Alliance insignia from Star Wars. This is some stuff from Conan the Barbarian. This is Conan's Atlantean sword. One of my favorite pins ever. Thulsa Doom insignia. The rest of these buttons, like TSR brand logo, first edition AD&D Demon Idol. And yeah, the rest just a random pumpkin. Someone said they made this based upon Murkborg. Spiked flail to the face. And that's just a skull dice, a snake, and a goat. This is a bottle of eyeballs that my daughter made me years ago. Love that. And a wolf's tooth. Oh, here's a D20. It says, you're fucked. And then obviously all the patches and whatnot. Lord Durza also asks, how do you make those puppets? Let me go get them. Here is Zoth. Zoth is completely hand-sewn and glued and tacked together and Warblood and everything by me, with his complete with his jacket. Dungeon Master. He's got a 5th edition D&D ampersand. I can't find an old school 1st or 2nd edition. If you make pins, hit me up. I would like to buy a 1st or 2nd edition D&D ampersand. There's a box set pin that he's got on him, and of course we both sport the Game Over screen from Dragon's Lair. So yeah, he's this is actually really coarse material. This is very similar to what they call Antron fleece, which is what the Muppets were using in the 1970s, so it's very sturdy. Yeah, warbler teeth and painted, lots of felt dots all over his face. Yeah, hairy back, and yeah, he's a handy puppet, or uses a hand, and this is the glove that I stick my hand in to make him work. So even the jacket and the shirt are just material from a thrift store that I found. Let me see, I can put him on. It's not really the right angle here, but hey there, everybody. So yeah, if you ever see him, he's being puppeteered by me, and voiced by me as well. So, yeah, this is a one-man show here. Hey there! How the fuck's it going? I'm not even in focus. What the hell? That is DM's off. Here's Dice Bag Derek. He's one of my latest. He's got some marijuana memorabilia, things going on. Constitution is 420 with a pot leaf, a green pentagram, and a bong. That's also a die. And then I think that's from Not Scary Farm, a pin that kind of matched. And he's basically based upon a nug of weed. Yeah, I'm not a huge stoner, but anyways, he's got purple hairs. He's got a little orange hair right there. And man, he talks like this, man. Yeah. I talk like this. And that's what I do, man. Okay. Alright. Bye. So, Dice Bag is named in homage to Dimebag Darrell. And he also plays guitar on anything that we're going to be doing musically. That's Dice Bag. 3 horns made out of warbler. A couple teeth right here. Purple and green. I also have a couple of snoofs that I made, and there's 3 of them. This guy you may have seen in some of our past earlier videos. This is Pot.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Hello? Yeah.
So Pot is part of a trio. The lore is actually that Dice Bag Derek came and gave Zoth some weed, and Zoth coughed so hard that Pot was created by the amount of coughing. So he's kind of like a cannabis elemental or something. I don't know. Fucking stupid. And then I've also got one that looks pretty much exactly like him, but is red. And this is Clot. So we have Pot and Clot. And he sounds exactly, or she, I don't even know, sounds exactly the same.
Hi there. Okay.
But he doesn't have the crazy eye.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm currently working on this guy, and his name is Snot. He's just a mess right now. All this needs to get kind of trimmed back, but he's a Cyclops unicorn of sorts. And he talks like this. Yep, that's what I talk like. So there's actually a song that Zoth sings called Breath Weapon that I've already recorded. There's a few little touches, but these three, Pot, Clot, and Snot, actually sing backup in the video. So I'm hoping to have that out in the next couple months. We'll see. But he needs some purple arms that come off here, and he's got some pink hair that kind of hangs down as well. So, yeah, Pot, Clot, and Snot. Thanks for lasting this long, if you have, and listening to me ramble on about all things Agronac Studios and stuff about me, I guess. An interesting note. We hit 1,000 subscribers about 3, maybe 4 days before our official 1-year anniversary. And I said to myself when I first started this channel that if I didn't reach 1,000 subscribers by the time 1 year rolled around, that I would quit. I would hang up the hat. Maybe I would post every once in a while if I felt like it, but pretty much I wasn't going to push and I wasn't going to move forward. So yeah, here we are. I'm going to continue to do this and we're going to move forward. I don't want to put any more stipulations like that. I'm just going to let Agronac Studios be whatever it's going to be from this time forward. So if you're here, thank you. If you unsubscribe, fuck you. yeah, for those of you that stay and want to see what we do, welcome to the Agronac cult. See you on the next one. Cheers.
All right, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.